mission more than a musician. My flow rare like a first edition. Report for dismission. Everything I ever thought of, it came to fruition. King of the transition. We never switch and peep the acquisition, no omission. Your lyrics dry it in the prepare for collision. Then the satellite that's on an orbiting mission.
I remember we didn't have any permission. Never forget we on mission. I remember that they didn't even want to listen. Now we cooking, we ain't even in the kitchen. I remember we didn't have any permission. Never forget we on mission. I remember that they didn't even want to listen. Now we cooking, we ain't even in the
Shoot my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shoot my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Their spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Grandma was in A, auntie was in it, ayy. Mama had AAA. I wasn't scared to crash anyone anyway. I ride a shotty while bro had a get away. I gotta penetrate, I gotta generate. I got like 20 some years to my hood, now I gotta go live away. I'm out of town, but I'm not on the getaway. I spin a giveaway. You mean I'm the generous king for real? The sleep, then I light up the street, got screaming like Billie Jean for real. I'm from the M, I got M's in the bank and M's in all my streams for real. Feeling like Phil, they be living like Carlson if I leave him in the wheel. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Their spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Baby, I'm loving it. I think I'm ready for kids. She said when to stop trying to in her face. That makes sense. I'm going up past LA Brent. I'm going off no fence. They switch at me and my team.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the third. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready. Hurt. Right there. Hurt. Ready.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor, to about the 35, 2nd down. From the 35, here's 2nd down and 7.
Check, Bobcat.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the 1st down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 30-yard line. Here's Richardson to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know some guys, they love to start the year off with a deep shot downfield, trying to begin things with a home run ball. That might be the more exciting option, but I think that this was the smarter play.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. 7 yards there and a 1st down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be third down.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Well, Charles, it's early, but that's a key third down conversion. Remember, they forced the turnover on the opening drive. Now they're in a position where they look like they'll at least get 3 out of this.
A great example of complementary football if they're able to cash this in, isn't it, partner? Because defense does this job, takes it away, turns over the offense. They just pick up a nice first down there. Maybe it's time to think about taking a shot at the end zone because it looks like the field goal is almost assured.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
And now an audible here into something else.
Now the first carry here for their running back. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to throw. Martinez. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Martinez. Flushed out right. Oh, stays up. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Off-play action. Martinez. Under pressure, and he'll go down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Martinez. This will be caught. Judy. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Martinez. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Touchdown! David Njoku from a yard out.
And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ready? Bronco 80. Go.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Richardson working from the gun.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Richardson looking to throw. That is caught.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Here, Richardson yet again. Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. picked off by Grant Delpit. Down to the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, it's one thing to get the interception, and it was a great play, but then you saw how quickly all of his teammates, Charles, turned to find blocks, made sure they had space for him to make the house call.
And not only did they turn and find the blocks, none of them clipped from behind, blocked someone in the back. This play is going to stand. And how about what we see each and every week now? When the defenders make a big play, there's always a group celebration after the takeaway.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 1st and 10, Taylor now. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Richardson. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Richardson looking to throw this. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Here we go, set.
Now Richardson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the 1st half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Martinez. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Martinez. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. To throw is Martinez. A final shot before break. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the 1st half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. They'll try the left side. McCain, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Martinez. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the 1st half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down at 6 now from the 42.
19 tight.
Back to throw. Martinez. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Looking to throw. Martinez escaping the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll run here on third and goal. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Second down, another run with Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Go, Chap! Go, Chap!
Now it's Richardson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They go play action here on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Martinez. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards you needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. And they'll run on the inside handoff. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 19.
Back to throw. Martinez. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. Martinez. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Andre Yoshibas from 8 yards out. And the Browns are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Next to score, Browns 27, Colts nothing.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
70 Lions. Check go.
from the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Richardson. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Richardson out of the shotgun. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Richardson shotgun on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
2nd and 7. Back to throw. Martinez. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Martinez. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
3rd down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got to be frustrated. Bottled up for the 3rd straight play. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. Struggling to throw the football, all the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Wade. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And this is going to be a Colts 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. 55 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Again, it's Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pass complete downfield. It's Pierce. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Hurt, right there, hurt.
Looking to throw. Wade. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Set. Cougar 19. Set go.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Hawk 70. Ready, ready?
Back to throw. Wade. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go now. Check, Bobcat. Check, Bobcat. Hut, hut.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
There on the stop was Leo Chanel.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 9 from the 44.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Browns, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
position. I can truly give about the competition. I'm in another atmosphere, I'm on another mission. Yeah, you know that boy Logic put pen to page like a petition. You always switching up your whole position. I can see it in your face like an esthetician. Food for thought, it's the highest caliber nutrition. Everything come out my mouth, that's my own cognition. I got out the hood, then got money in addition. I remember when that boy ain't had no pot to. They wouldn't let